Hi, I'm Daniel Andrews, owner and creator of the DAN Show, and welcome to my latest 2021 NFL Draft video. Today, I'm going to break down the Atlanta Falcons. Now, if this is your first time here and you like football, welcome home. This is the place to be. All I do is cover football 365 days out of the year. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and while you're at it, ring the bell. That way you get notified every time I release a new video. Now, if you've been here before, you already know the drill. Go ahead, give me that thumbs up, give me that like, and now that I got that over with, let's break down the Falcons. We're going to start this video off with what I like about the Atlanta Falcons, and the very first thing that comes to mind is the hiring of defensive coordinator Dean Pease. Now, I thought this was just a brilliant move because here you are, you're in the NFC South with Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, Sean Payton, and Drew Brees, and you run the cover 3 system on defense. You run basically one of the most simplistic defenses that's basically the same type of formation. And you have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks known for reading and dissecting defenses, and 2 head coaches, former offensive coordinators that are among some of the best and brightest of offensive minds in the National Football League. So bringing in Dean Pease, who's going to bring in an innovative, multifaceted 3-4 defense, I thought was a brilliant hire. Last year, when Dean Pease retired from the Tennessee Titans, take a look here and you'll see the stats. With Dean Pease, the Tennessee Titans allowed his last year in Tennessee in 2019, 20.7 points a game, 4,080 passing yards, and the team got 43 sacks. Dean Pease retires, and as you see here, it's almost a touchdown more a game, 27.4 points per game, 4,439 passing yards. It's basically 360 more passing yards a game. Basically, it's 22, 23 passing yards. A little less, not a lot. But sacks dipped in over half. You got 19 sacks. And keep in mind, yes, I'm fully aware that the Tennessee Titans won 2 more games in the regular season, but they won, when Dean Pease was defensive coordinator, 2 more games in the playoffs. So yes, I'm fully aware that the offensive coordinator deserves some credit. Well, yes, he does. That's why he's the head coach. But I think that bringing in Dean Pease was nothing short of brilliant. You got to bring somebody in. I think that when you're in division, now Drew Brees retired, but you have Tom Brady, and you still have Sean Payton, and you have Bruce Arians. You need to bring in a multifaceted type of defense that at least causes some form of confusion. Now, the second thing I like about the Atlanta Falcons is drafting Kyle Pitts, a tight end out of Florida. Now, I have been absolutely obsessed with the NFL draft. I've made sure I've watched the NFL draft either live or on DVR every single year since 1990. Now, keep in mind, Kyle Pitts really isn't a true tight end. He's more like a big wide receiver, very similar to both Travis Kelce and Darren Wells. They're tight end in name only, but they're really just big wide receivers. Now, Vernon Davis ran a 4.38 in the 2006 draft, and he was picked 6th overall by the San Francisco 49ers. The 4.38 is the fastest tight end for fastest 40 time for a tight end ever. And he also had O.J. Howard in 2017, who some people thought could have gone 4th overall. He had a really good combine, plus with some really good highlights, but neither one of these guys had the production or the potential of Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida. I mean, this is the best tight end, and I say tight end using air quotes, that I've ever seen coming out of college. See, the potential with Kyle Pitts is really unlimited, and you combine that with the third thing I like about the Atlanta Falcons is that you have Kyle Pitts, the guy throwing him the footballs, Matt Ryan, a future Hall of Fame quarterback playing at an extremely high level. Over the last 3 years, no quarterback's thrown for more passing yards than Matt Ryan. So Normally, when you have a team that's picking 4th overall, you don't have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback who's going to be throwing passes back there. I mean, look the first 2 teams I did with Jacksonville and the Jets. They're going to start rookie quarterbacks. Houston, you're not really sure what the quarterback situation is, where Atlanta has a future Hall of Famer playing at an extremely high level. And then you add the best tight end prospect maybe ever coming out of college. Well, that really gives you something. So just to summarize what I like about the Falcons is you have Dean Pease, who's, if nothing else, he's going to bring a creative defensive scheme that's going to be much more difficult to dissect. You have maybe the best tight end prospect of all time in Kyle Pitts coming out of Florida, and Hall of Fame quarterback Matt Ryan, who's still playing at an extremely, extremely high level. Now, here's what I don't like about the Atlanta Falcons. First thing I don't like about the Atlanta Falcons is you have the brand new head coach and Arthur Smith, first-time head coach, and brand new general manager Terry Fontenot, first-time general manager, not agreeing on what to do with their very first draft pick, the 4th overall pick in the draft. Not only is it bad that they were on different pages, it was very public that Fontenot wanted a quarterback and Arthur Smith wanted Kyle Pitts. And there was talk about maybe trading up and all sorts of things like that before the draft. And then, of course, when San Francisco traded up to 3, some people saw it as Atlanta making a mistake and not trading up to 2 or not making that flip-flop from 4 to 3. Either way, it's bad on so many different levels. And I don't care if Kyle Pitts wins MVP this year. It's a bad move when your head coach and general manager aren't on the same page. Considering that this is the first time Arthur Smith's been a head coach and Terry Fontenot's been a general manager, and these two didn't work together. I mean, Fontenot's been with the Saints for the last 18 years. That's why I love that pick. Arthur Smith, of course, been with the Tennessee Titans the last several years as the offensive coordinator. So while individually I really liked both these hires and I like them working together, that they disagree on their very first pick together and that it was public is a bad thing on so many different levels. It would take a long video on why a general manager and head coach have got to be on the same page. But this is the number one way that a franchise fails, is that when your head coach and general manager don't agree of what to do, especially with your very first pick together. This seems like something that not only should they be on the same page, if they did disagree, it should have been kept in-house and not made widely public. Keep in mind, I don't know Arthur Smith or Terry Fontenot personally. I wasn't in a war room with them. I'm just kind of regurgitating what I heard on multiple social media sites over multiple months. I mean, several months going into the draft, it was public, known that Smith wanted Pitts and Fontenot wanted a quarterback. Second thing I don't like is player inexperience. And when I started breaking down the Falcons, I really was not expecting this team to be so young with so many new players. On defense, I understood. Dean Pease's system and Dan Quinn's system, almost polar opposites. So you need to bring in a lot of new players. I get that. On offense, there's a lot of youth. No starters over 30 except for Matt Ryan. And on the offensive line, you get 2 new offensive line starters plus your 2 first-round picks from 2019. These 4 guys are going to protect an immobile 35-year-old quarterback. Now, defensively, they gave up more passing yards than any other team in the National Football League. So drafting 3 new defensive backs and bringing 3 more in free agency makes a lot of sense. And for 2021, new schemes with new faces, it makes sense. And I understand. But it's going to be difficult with this much youth and lack of leadership. It's going to be really difficult for 2021 for everybody to get on the same page together and be competitive, because the third reason that I don't like about the Atlanta Falcons this year is the NFC South is just tough. Over the last 4 years, you've had the New Orleans Saints win the NFC South, and the last 3 years they've only lost 10 times in the regular season. And then your NFC South runner-up of last year, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, well, they didn't do so bad with that Super Bowl win and everything. So, I mean, this is a really, really tough division that the Atlanta Falcons are in. So just to recap the three things I don't like about the Atlanta Falcons, you have a rookie general manager and head coach that aren't on the same page, and it was public. Player inexperience, new players, lack of leadership, and you also have a very, very difficult NFC South. So now that I got those out of the way, now it's time for the advanced class, the money-making part of the show. This is where I offer my preseason analysis, and if I'm going to put action down on the Atlanta Falcons. Now, keep in mind, the numbers are provided from the William Hill Sportsbook as of July 14th. So between now and the start of the season, there could be some movement around. But as of July 14th, this is what the numbers are. Currently, you will see here the over is 7.5 with people putting action on the over. As you can tell here, it's negative 125. The under is plus 105. And what this means is that if you take over 7.5 wins, you have to wager $125 to win 100. But if you like the under, a $100 wager will win you $105. Now, I don't bet on rookie head coaches. There are too many unknowns. There's too many variables. So I'm not putting action on the Atlanta Falcons. However, if I was going to put action on the Atlanta Falcons, I would take the under. To me, 7-10 sounds very realistic. I see them 2-4 in the division. Last year they were 1-5. But here's the deal: if they go 2-4 in the division, they have to win 6 games outside the division. That means you go 6-6. And looking at their schedule, I do see some winnable games. I don't see 6. So again, I don't recommend putting action down on the Atlanta Falcons, but if you do, I recommend the under. Now, don't forget, if you're new here and you haven't done it already, hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. You're getting fantastic free content. And Friday, I'm going to break down Cincinnati Bengals. So, hey, I will see you Friday.